What's up, Divine Feminine Collective? Thank you for joining me for this Divine Feminine Energy reading. If it's your first time joining me, my name is Keita. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I did a reading for the Divine Masculine Collective last night. And I did that reading because there was just like a strong urge. I was feeling their energy so intensely. I did not record the Divine Feminine energy last night because honestly I was wore out after the Divine Masculine energy reading, but I still felt that same intensity about the downloads that I was having about the Divine Feminine Collective's energy. So once I was able to kind of ground and get centered, I'm now able to come down here to these here YouTube streets and share with you all what messages have been coming to me about where the Divine Feminine Collective is on their journey. If you have not checked out the Divine Masculine reader that I did, it's titled something about transcending time and space and the mother wounds. So you'll want to check that one out, as for one, it will give you some insight if you have a divine masculine counterpart, but also as you're on the journey of integrating your masculine and feminine energy, it may help you to better understand your own journey as well. Because as feminists, we transcend time and space and have to confront and heal, reconcile, transmute our mother wounds as well. So I got some songs that I channeled that I'm going to share, but I'm being led to pull cards first and then share the messages from the lyrics of 3 songs and tie it together somehow. What I will say is feminists are needing to get very clear on their concept of abundance. Like, if you've been doing the work on your journey to integrate your masculine and feminine energy, you've been operating in your gifts, and have reached a certain level on your journey of ascension where you've sown a lot of seeds but have yet to reap the harvest is coming. And for some of you, you're reaping the harvest, you counting your blessings, you're acknowledging where you're blessed. But I am hearing very clearly Spirit say, baby, you don't know the half of what is in store for you. You don't know the half behind of what's behind door number 1 for you. And that is beautiful. So expect abundance. If you've been expecting lack, expecting things to not work out, living in lack and scarcity, I ain't talking to you. And that just means there's more work to be done in terms of shifting out of poverty consciousness into abundance consciousness. Because the people who I am talking to, who will resonate with this message most, are people who expect God's goodness to flow abundantly in their lives. And as a matter of fact, they're expecting it to continue to flow because they've already been grateful. They've already been in a posture of great gratitude about what it is that they do have witnessed and experienced. So, I'm going to pull some cards. Oh, no, the point that I was going to make. You need to get clear about the abundance, what it looks like for you, what you want, what you desire. because you have plenty of options. And you have, and that's in different areas of your life, but when it comes to your love life, you got at least 2 masculines in your energy. And one of them has experienced you differently than the other. So it could be an ex, and a new person, or like 2 exes, but one relationship had more depth or longevity than the other. Take it how it resonates. It don't gotta be an ex at all, but somebody in this situation, you already know at least one of these masculine energies that's coming up. So take it how it resonates. We're gonna pull cards to see what else wants to come up, and then I'm gonna circle back to why I am led to believe that that is the case. So, for those of you who may already be coupled, this may not be like somebody in your physical 3D reality coming back or something like that, but it may be pointing to you where a past connection still affects you at this point on your journey. Again, take it how it resonates. So, Father God, Mother Earth, ancestors, and spirit guides, I thank you for your love and light, and ask that you help me to bring forth the best message for the highest good of the divine feminine collective. What would you have me to share with the divine feminine collective about where they are on their journey? What do they need to know for their highest good? No vision. So the card that fell face down, and it is heart chakra, represented by the number 38, which breaks down to an 11 and is significant to Archangel Raphael. So that speaks to having a heart chakra awakening, whether that's you or somebody that you are energetically attached to. Somebody's heart is expanding, and there's emotional healing that's taking place. The fact that that fell face down tells me that you may not be aware that this person is having that experience, or it's you and you haven't had the language to describe what it is that you're feeling emotionally, and it is a heart chakra awakening. But whatever the case, at the top of the deck you have, what did I tell y'all? Oh, I never cease to amaze myself. Spirit never ceases to amaze me. Adjacent possibilities. Yo, I forgot this card was even in this deck, but I told y'all got options, yo. You got different options to explore. You're a shining star. You will always have options. There will be different people always attracted to your light. And for many of you, they're attracted to the light that shines from your heart. The way you love on people, the way you show up, the way you love yourself is attractive as fuck. And there are people who are connecting with that, attracted to their energy. Some of them mean you well, and some not so much. But whatever the case, at the top of the deck, you got adjacent possibilities, which means that you or someone you're energetically attached to are exploring options that they once didn't explore or wouldn't explore. Whether that's by way of not seeing the option, but doubting that it would benefit them. But there are other options available here in this message. And at the bottom of the deck, the fact that there are other options is leading somebody to walk away from what no longer serves them, which is represented by the number 27, which breaks down to a 9. So we got somebody going through a heart chakra awakening. And because they're going through a heart chakra awakening, their heart is expanding. They're becoming more emotionally in touch and mature and intelligent. And emotionally tapped in on a spiritual level. options that were not available or that it didn't see benefit in are now available. And I'm just hearing worthy. Someone is starting to feel more worthy of a better option. So this is not, for some of you, it's your energy and you have options. For others of you, it's that, and someone is now seeing you as a more viable, profitable, beneficial, aligned option. Whatever the case, you're walking away, or they're walking away from what no longer serves them. Walking out of that gate. Walking away from their comfort zones. Walking away from what they're used to. Walking away from the past and the way that they used to show up. For some of you, somebody is looking at you shine your light, and it is influencing their decision to walk away from emotional immaturity and emotional avoidance. And because they no longer live in doubt or fear of what connecting with you would look like, feel like, and require of them, they are committed to emotional maturity, showing up in a real love connection, opposed to aligning with superficial, materialistic, sexual connections, and actually showing up for a love connection. Take it how it resonates. I'm seeing 707. This is very much a spiritual connection and dynamic where the thing that ties two people together is their mission, their spiritual mission in this lifetime. So we're very possibly talking about a twin flame connection or soulmates who have incarnated in order to live out a divine mission. This is the perfect segue into the lyrics of the songs that I channeled, because there's mention of being a superstar in two of the songs. Like literally they are called, the title of both songs is called Supastar. They're by two different artists. One being Carl Thomas, and the other song, Supastar, by the Isley Brothers. And it's one of their, like, it's a song that the Isley Brothers, even though they're an old school group, recorded in like 2000 and the early to mid 2000s. So it's not super old school Isley Brothers, but it's still a bop. I was reminded of this album out of nowhere, and I can't believe I ever forgot about it because I used to listen to it so much. But this Isley Brothers album is called Body Kiss. So you may want to listen to that album, and more of those songs may resonate with you. But this song is called Supastar, and it speaks more to the shadow of how the masculine and the feminine may have valued relationships. What was a shining star, what stood out to them about a person, what they aligned with. But as masculines and feminines evolve and elevate and ascend into their divine masculine and femininity, the resonance is more of Carl Thomas's version of Supastar. So I am going to share the lyrics from the Isley Brothers version first. Then we'll explore the Carl Thomas version, the higher aspect of the Supastar. The Isley Brothers song says, "Who's that girl that considers herself a superwoman? And who's that girl that's independent and hardworking? And who's that girl that can cook and got some good loving? And who's that girl that can take it down on her man and turn it into something? So this is promoting that very performative, I am every woman, it's all in me expression of femininity, that as we evolve on our journey, we not get away from, but we're able to see the light and the dark in that, because it can be very performative and superficial to try to be all things at all times, super independent and hardworking, instead of allowing for rest and soft life. Trying to wear all the hats and fill all the shoes and check all of the boxes and live up to this concept of perfection. It says you're a superstar. That's what you are. Money, clothes, and fancy cars. So high, you're on the top. That's the hook. Tell me who's that man with them 20 inches under that wide body Benz. And who's that man sitting in VIP just a thuggin'? And who's that man all the ladies are kissing and hugging? Tell me who's that man that the whole ghetto is loving? Again, the materialistic performative masculinity of having money, hoes, and clothes, a fancy car, and VIP in the section, popping bottles, and just living for the external validation and approval of others. So again, this message speaks to not only the emotional maturity and the evolution of the masculine, but also the feminine, and how we are attracted to the opposite energy. Tell me, y'all, who's that man that considers himself to be full grown? And who's that man that claims the world to be his own? And who's that man with a gentle heart and a pleasant tone, but when you mess with his money, he's quick to go upside your dome? And I think that's all the lyrics. Everything else is the hook, and then there's a part at the end that says over and over, let your light shine. Let your light shine. You're a star. You got to let it show. Let your light shine. The world is yours. You got to take control. Let your light shine. Sing it loud so everyone knows. Let your light shine. Just take the key and unlock the door. The key has very much been this heart chakra awakening. This healing that Archangel Raphael assists with. Getting out of your head and into your heart and unlocking those doors so that you have other options to explore, and you're not just limited to what your limited mind once presented to you. And so I love this for you all, as even in this song, you can see an evolution taking place into maturity. So for many of you, you're maturing, your masculine counterparts are maturing, and as you are integrating your masculine and feminine energy, there is an evolution and maturity taking place. And like I said, as long as you letting your light shine and being your authentic self and committed to growth, you're going to attract a myriad of options. You just need to know what you want and be tapped in and tuned into your intuition so that you choose the option that is best aligned with your soul's journey and your worth. Make sure that you're choosing according to your worth, what you know you deserve. Which leads me, and I'm seeing 3, 4, 5 on the timer, so that may be an angel number for you guys. But this leads me to the other Supastar song, which is by called Thomas. Hold on, yeah. Why is this here? Okay. This is one of my favorite songs. Girl, you're a star. That's what you are. Something wonderful. I gotta let you know. You mean the world. 'Cause you're my girl. Shine To me, that's what you are. What album was this on? Let's see. Emotional. Carl Thomas's debut album. And this is more that mature. I appreciate you for who you are. It ain't about you cooking and cleaning and putting on a tight dress and how your ass poke out or none of the performative feminine energy. It's just about me loving you for the value that you bring into my life and who you are on a soul deep level. So Carl says, you must have been there waiting all the while I played the field just like an anxious child. Oh, when I heard one day you would come to me. Now here we are, baby, you set me free. This is that spiritual connection that we talked about, where sometimes along the journey, the feminine is aware of in the vicinity of the masculine energy, and the masculine has no clue. Or they have a clue, but they're running from the connection. And they self-sabotage it, or they're intimidated by the feminine's light. And so they run in the opposite direction because I ain't ready to grow up. I still want to be a Toys R Us kid. I still want the lifestyle that is described in the earlier part of Supastar by the Isley Brothers. So he says, damn, now that now that I know who you are, that God sent you into my life, when I look back on this shit, like, you've been there all this time while I've been out here with the shits. While I've played the field like an anxious child, hopping from one connection to another, be it sexual or otherwise. But then hearing like the calling, hearing the trumpet sound, having an aha moment, where he says, when I heard one day you would come to me. It's like it's been prophesied to the masculine energy that, or the feminine energy, could be to y'all, that it was prophesied to you that your counterpart would come, that someone who makes your heart smile and makes you want to mature and grow and live out the rest of your days would come into your life. And damn, here you go, right here in my face, in my vicinity, just beyond my reach. So the hook is, I already shared the hook with y'all. The second verse is, how sweet it's been since you've been loving me. First we were friends, and now we're family. But what the future holds, just don't know. But I'll be okay, long as there's you to hold. I love this song. If y'all ain't checked out Carl Thomas Emotional, like, you about a good decade, about 2 decades, a little over 2 decades behind. But don't say I ain't never put you up on no good music, because this is a classic. How sweet it's been since you've been loving me. You brought so much value and love and joy into my life, opening my heart chakra, busting that thing wide open beyond its limits. I used to only let love in so far, so much into my life, and then you just come pushing all of the limits and boundaries, challenging me to love in a deeper, wider, more expansive way. First we were friends, and now we're family. I'm telling y'all, for some of y'all, this is somebody that y'all already know, and this is a connection that's meant to evolve from one state, like friends, to another, where this person looks at you like family, like a mainstay, like support, belonging, like shit just come easy. Like, this is somebody who feels like shit, I'm more comfortable with you than I am with some people who actually have my blood running through their veins. This is feeling safe, and this is seeing a future with you. But what the future holds, I just don't know. Fucking with you would require that I move into the unknown and not have all of the answers. That I take a leap of faith. That I take a risk of some sort. But if I'm to bet on anybody, especially when it comes to my heart, it's you. But I'll be okay long as there's you to hold. That's somebody that know, like, shit, however it turned out, long as I got you, I'm actually gonna be just fine. If I gotta go through some shit in life, I want you by my side. I want you to be my teammate. I want you to be my ride or my co-D. You know what I'm saying? So it goes back to the hook. And then it says, the bridge says, happiness with you didn't believe it could be true. So there was doubt at some point, whether it was because of circumstances, because this person had not experienced a love like this, they didn't see themselves being able to show up in a way that would sustain the relationship or whatever it is, they had doubt. But now that you're my girl, you know you make me a better world. You know I never knew love like this before. The way you hug me and love me, you know I like it all over. So this is somebody you've possibly been affectionate with in some way, and explored or enjoyed intimacy with in some way. But whatever the case, this song screams, I see your value. And not only do I see your value, I see your value in my life. And whereas I once didn't consider this an option, or I overlooked the option, or I intentionally ignored the option, I now see where, shit, if I got you, I'm rich. If I got you by my side, like, that's invaluable. That's priceless. So feminists, you're needing to be, and not only women, because men have feminine energy too. So if you're masculine, you're watching this, you tapping into integrating your masculine and feminine energy, this may resonate with you as something you're needed to explore about your journey, as well as you are embracing and integrating your feminine energy to become a more healthy, whole being. But whatever the case, you need to be clear on what abundance looks like for you and what it is that you desire. So when these options present themselves, you're clear on your boundaries and what you want. Because we got these two songs about being a superstar, and somebody's shining like new money, and it's very magnetic and attractive. People see you out here winning. They see you shining, and they see you shining like internally. It's nothing materialistic about it. It's just who you've evolved to be. That magnetizes people who want to align themselves with you in different ways, whether it's emotionally, romantically, professionally, they want to be your friend, whatever the case. But you got some people from the past who want to spin the block because they see you shining too. And other than remembering what those situations were like and not wanting to repeat them, you also need to be mindful of, like, those who present themselves as new and changed and evolved, but they don't align with what it is that you want, desire, and deserve. That's why you got to get clear on what you want. Because the other song that I channeled is what's that song? Rocket Love by Stevie Wonder. I had never heard this song before the other day. So let me look up the lyrics to that. I love the song, and it's on an album that I love. Let's see. I think I've heard this album. Yeah, it's the joint where he got the beads in his hair and the shades on. It's the one with until the day when others don't let in the shine. Oh, always until the ocean, something, something, and always. I love that song. And I think it's on that same album. So I had to have heard the song before, but I don't recall it. But anyway, the lyrics go, I longed for you since I was born, a woman sensitive and warm, and that you were. With pride and strength no one would test, but yet have feminine finesse and so much more. You took me riding in your rocket, gave me a star, but at a half a mile from heaven you dropped me back, down to this cold, cold world. Took me riding in your rocket, gave me a star. Okay, it repeats that. A female Shakespeare of your time. So this is somebody who feels like you brought that sensitivity and feminine energy into their life in a way that nobody else has. Your imprint on them will forever be there. And this is like speaking in past tense. So this is somebody who's seeing the value after they done fucked up the opportunity or fumbled the ball. And no longer are able to enjoy that divine feminine energy that they once were. And this is something for this other masculine energy who sees you as a superstar as well to take heed to, because you don't want to be that person who gets the rocket love experience and then fucks it up and be sitting up hollering about shoulda, woulda, coulda, because you took for granted that not all feminines bring this valuable ass good love to the table. But he says, Stevie Wonder says, a female Shakespeare of your time with looks to blow Picasso's mind, you were the best. Your body moved with grace and song like symphonies by Bach or Brahms, nevertheless. You took me riding in your rocket, gave me a star, but at a half a mile from heaven, you dropped me back down to this cold, cold world. Motherfucker, you wanted to be for the streets? Here you go. Go ahead. Go on back out there. You felt like the grass was greener on the other side. You thought you could do better. Okay. Who finna fight you on it? You know what I'm saying? It was your decision. The passion burning in your heart would make hell's fire seem like a spark. Where did it go? Man, we used to have such a passionate connection. And now you're not studying me. The fuck? I'm telling y'all, some of y'all got an ex. They acting like they straight, but they really feel like you were their rocket love and that you dropped their ass off somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And now they reminiscing and they missing you and they contemplating and they filling the void. Just why that you would overnight turn love to stone, as cold as ice. That's that Queen of Swords energy. You know, the Queen of Swords, she's sitting on her throne. She has her hand out. She also has her sword in another hand. And it's like, listen, as long as you come in truth and light, you welcome. I'm your biggest fan, your best ally. I am the person you want on your team. I fucks with you. I see the truth of who you are. I'ma always operate in truth and integrity. When it comes to you, I'm your rider. But if you come with that bullshit, that is the purpose of this sword. It is not just to defend us against our enemies. It's to defend me against you. Because I cannot afford to let you dim my light. I can't afford to let you rob me of my shine that I worked so hard to come to. This spot on the throne that I put myself in, nobody else. I cannot let you jeopardize that because you want some fuck shit and you taking me for granted. So, the rest of the words say, I would not do that to a dog, baby. He's saying that after he's saying that part about dropping him off a half a mile from heaven. So being dropped off a half a mile of heaven is like, I'm not in the midst of this good divine energy, but I'm close enough to feel the remnants of it or to see it. And that is somebody who's like in your vicinity. Maybe y'all got mutual friends, so they hearing about how good you doing, or they watching you on social media and they seeing how good you doing. So they're in the vicinity of heaven. Heaven is you and your experience. But they aren't able to experience. It's kind of like that song by Jagged Edge. Feel like I just walked right out of heaven. Feel like I just damn near threw my life away. Some. Don't know what to do to get back right with you. I'm telling you, you got two masculines in your energy. You got options beyond those two, but these are the two dominant energies within your field. And one of them sees your value after having not, sees you as an option that's beneficial to their life, whereas they either didn't or they saw it and they ran from it because they weren't ready. And then you have another who completely fumbled the ball, and now they see where they had you and themselves fucked up because they thought they could get another you. Let's see. So yeah, that's the lyrics to Rocket Love. What is the advice for the feminine spirit other than be clear on what you want so that you choose the right option? Crown chakra and sacral chakra. You go with the option that is most divinely aligned and also that you're passionate about. The one that feeds your fire, your creativity, your sexual energy. Your, like, one of these people sexually does it for you more than the other. Also, one of them you are more divinely aligned with. Past lives, soul mission, dreams, signs, synchronicities, all that more than the other. Because you got crown chakra and you got sacral chakra. One of these options makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. One of these options you enjoy emotional intimacy with. You feel emotionally safe with. And based on how these experiences have been described with these people, with these two options, they may not have made you feel emotionally safe in the past, but they're willing to go to the ends of the earth to show you that they're a safe space for you when they approach. So you're looking for them to prove that they are emotionally mature, emotionally intelligent. Where they aren't, they're willing to learn, and they want to be a safe space for you to land as well, because this is somebody who sees you as such and they want to return the favor. We talking about a good listener. We talking about somebody who actually cares about your feelings and ain't out here on no fuck shit because they know that that's something that will hurt you, and because they value so much they value you so much it would hurt them to hurt you. That's the option that you want to choose, and you want to take your time to see this connection and behavior in the person. At the top of the deck, you have adjacent possibilities again. Yeah, you started with multiple options, but as you can see in this card, there's only one purple door. Purple representing intuition. You want to go in the direction that you are being intuitively led. And that door is leading you through and this represented by the number 24, which is breaks down to the number 6. The card at the bottom of the deck is the door to personal healing and happiness, which is represented by the number 34, which breaks down to a 7. This is a new cycle for you and whoever this individual is. This is like the closing out of the past and whatever happened in the past, and moving forward toward what makes you and this individual happy. Do what's best for you, for your healing and your happiness, regardless of how anybody else feels like it. This is solely your decision. Wherever you see your rainbow, because as you can see here through this door, and again, we had the adjacent possibilities where you're choosing which door you're going to go through. And then the door that you choose is the one that's most beneficial to your personal healing and happiness. I can't make this shit up. And there's a dove there, so you want to go where there's the most peace. You want to choose the option that doesn't bring chaos and fuck shit. And you got these lotuses here as well. So this is something where y'all been through some shit, but what has emerged from the muck and the mud has been something beautiful. Something beautiful has emerged from whatever your experience with this person is. So for a lot of y'all, this is not somebody new. It's not somebody new because it's somebody that you've gone through some shit with, but you feel intuitively your crown chakra resonates with you and this person having been on a spiritual journey, and it wasn't always easy, but it evolved to be something beautiful. So I hope this message found y'all well. If it did not find you well, I hope that it leaves you well. You are a superstar. There are people who are attracted to your love, your light, your divine femininity, and you're going to need to be very discerning about who you're giving that love to, who you're giving access to you to, because they all want some. They all want some, and the some ain't necessarily sex. There are people, they want your love, they want your advice, they want your attention, they want to be seen with you, they want to be seen by you because of who you've evolved to be in the work that's I didn't see this part on the lyrics. Steve said, cold, too cold, you took me riding in your rocket, gave me a star, but at a half a mile from heaven, you dropped my black ass down to this cold, cold world. Y'all, if you needed a personal reading, feel free to email me at turquoisemajesty@gmail.com. And until next time, y'all, peace.